Morning, everyone. Yeah, it's been a interesting journey for us. Started off playing Swallows away, and of course, that is always a tough game playing at the Dobsonville Stadium. A lot of history at the stadium itself, and of course, with Swallows, the history of the club. We knew it will be a tough game. It went into extra time, and eventually, we got the result we desired. Of course, the highlight for us so far was our semi-final game, playing against Sundowns. And of course, going a goal down it was always a challenge, especially at home, having our support behind us. But we're really glad we were able to come through that. And right now, it's it was one of our targets at the beginning of the season to reach a cup final, and we're really happy that it's the Nedbank Cup final.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Coach Sly. Similar question to you. I think I remember a game that you played here in Cape Town against Ubuntu, which was, I think it went all the way to penalties. But from your point of view, there are some of the highlights, heading into the final here in Cape Town.
Afternoon, everyone. I think we've had the roughest route to the final. If I remember very well, we had to play a derby at home against Super Eagles, of which it wasn't easy. We conceded a goal, if I'm not mistaken, in the first 5 minutes, and it became rough. We equalized, I think, the last 10 minutes, and then we took over the game from there, and then we went all the way to extra time. That's where we managed to win the game. The second game, it wasn't that difficult. We played cheaper. The other tough game, again, of which those two games are highlights when you played, against first division teams, whereby they want to prove a point. We played against Ubuntu. It became very rough also and very tough because we had to scrap until we get to the penalties, and then penalties, it can be everyone's game. So we managed to sneak through there. We went to play Chiefs in Durban, of which it wasn't that difficult because in first 10 minutes we were 2-0 up, and then we managed to hold on throughout the game, and then we won that 2-0. That is why we find ourselves in the finals. That's how.
Now, Mahier says, they had planned, they had planned to get to at least one final, or wish to get to one final. At what point did you, as Free State Stars, think that you can actually make it to the final?
Yeah, honestly, after Ubuntu, we've realized that we have a chance. We said to the players, and actually we waited to see where they're going to play the game, and they took us to Durban. If you check, I don't think Chiefs knows that. If you check the history or the record of Chiefs and Free State Stars in Durban, they've never beaten us. So that's where we found that we have a chance here. We go to Durban, we'll be in the finals.
Okay. All right. Members of the media, I think I should now give you the opportunity to ask questions. So without wasting any further time, I don't know if we've got any roving microphones, but just by show of hands, I will take the first question. Should we start with Siraj? Okay, if you can just wait for the microphone, my brother. Here in the front. Can ask any of the gentlemen here on stage.
Thank you. Questions to Coach Mahier. A lot has been said about these two surprise packages in this cup competition, but also you guys have been doing very well in the league campaign as well, so that doesn't come to me as a surprise that you guys are in the final. My question is, do you think you got a slight home advantage with your Cape Town flavor in your squad, yourself, your brother, being played in Cape Town for the first time? Do you think that could just sway it in your favor?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a final. And when it comes to a final, everybody has a 50% chance of winning. And I know if I look into the history, the coach just said it now, Free State Stars has a good history in Cape Town. In previous years, beating Ajax in Cape Town as well. So yes, we have a couple of Cape Town boys in our team, but at the end of the day, it's a final and it's a neutral venue. We'll just give it our best and hopefully we can get the result.
Okay, moving on.
I believe it's Father's birthday on Monday.
Yeah, that's correct.
What kind of a gift would you like to give them?
Yeah, it's quite obvious then for the team. I don't think the team realizes it, but it would be perfect, if you can get the result and end the season off on a high.
Carl Lewis from EWN Sport. To both coaches, actually, obviously it's a big game for the club, and some of your players perhaps have never played in a game like this. Do you believe that the match might be too big for some players, or you've seen this week that the guys are up for it?
Maybe Sly, you can go first.
Yeah, listen, I'll go first there. Honestly, I don't think it will be too big. If you check at Free Stars, we have a lot of experienced players. They've been there, they've played cup finals. We have Roy Mahamud, we have Paulos Masay, we have Nkandla Vilakazi, we have Taylor Ngobeni who's been around, we have Mtembu who's been at Chiefs. I think they will fit nicely on the weekend, and I still believe that we will be relying more on the experience. The experience has to come through on the weekend because Maritzburg, they have a young team, they're energetic. So we're going to have to be there, we're going to have to go there and then use our experience properly and try to see if we can get the results from the game. If you remember very well, these two teams, we played in the league, we won 1-0 at home, I think, in Maritzburg, no, at your home in Maritzburg, and then we lost at home 3-0, so we still -2. We'll try by all means to make sure that we go to +1 or to 0 goal difference to try to equalize things now.
Yeah, I think for us as a club, we've come a long way. 2 seasons ago, we just about saved relegation. So to be in a cup final now, it's really great achievement already for us. Like I said earlier, we had 2 targets at the start of the season to reach the top 5, which we've achieved, and to reach 1 cup final. So yes, there will be pressure. But I think we come more from the side of trying to enjoy it, trying to use this pressure and channel our thinking in the right direction. Yes, of course, they've got a lot of experience, but for us, just to have reached the final already, that's an achievement. So we try to take as much pressure off our players as possible and try to just enjoy the occasion, play our football, and yeah, hopefully at the end of the day, we can get the result.
Robbie.
Rob Delport, SABC Sport. Obviously, it's a big occasion for all the players in both teams, but is there anybody who's unfortunately going to miss out? And what's the conditions of the squads like?
Yeah, from our side, no suspensions. We have 2 long-term injuries. Brian Unyongo has been out now for a while, and of course, William Twala, on loan from Chiefs, is out as well. Other than that, everybody's okay.
Yeah, from our side, we have 1 who got red card, Potsani, and then we have Pungwai who got a slight knock during the week, of which we're going to do a fitness test tomorrow and see if he'll manage. But if he can't manage, on Saturday there's someone that will fill in his position.
Coach, you speak of achievements, over the past 2 years with Maritzburg. I believe there's a lot of good coaches around, but the key is getting the players to respond, and I believe that's been key for you and Fadlu this season. How do you sustain it? How do you maintain it? I mean, doing so well over the season and being here today. What's your key?
Yeah, I think, I go back to 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago already when Ernst Murillo came in. He laid the foundations, and the team from there, from the tactical side, from the technical side, how the team has evolved. It's important that you don't stay in one position, because if you stay in one position, the rest of the teams are improving. At the end of the day, you're going backwards. So for us, what we found with the players, they're so intelligent, always trying to innovate, always trying to take the game to the next level in terms of our playing style. And at the moment, that with the real togetherness of the team, with the tactical evolution of the team as well, it's really kept the players, let's say, the buy-in of the players has been there. And of course, when you win, it helps, So a successful season so far. We hope we can continue and again into next season as well.
Carl again.
Coach Mosala, actually for both head coaches' reputations have really blown up this season after good seasons. But Coach Mosala, I know the focus is on the final, but is there a worry from the club that the head coach might not be here next season? I know he rubbished rumours about Chiefs, but I just want to know where the club's head at, where your head at. Will he be at Free State Stars next year?
Yeah, as far as I know, the coach is contracted to the club. But you know, in football, you never know what's going to happen. If people comes maybe with better offers, they will have to negotiate with the club. But so far, what I know is he's contracted to the club. And there was a press conference, I think, 2 days ago, whereby the general manager outlined everything about the coaching.
Okay, Rob, yeah.
This is also to both coaches. While there are a lot of inexperienced players in the squads, both teams also do have players who have been in finals before, like Roy at Free State Stars, Bevan. How important have those guys been this past week, just keeping the nerves down of the younger players?
You know, it's always difficult, especially whereby you're extending, the league with 1 week. Everyone's thinking now or mentality is to be on the holidays, but they know the importance of this, how they're going to benefit financially, and then they're trying to you see, we're lucky because we have a lot of experienced players who wants to help these youngsters too, because some of these youngsters will never be in the finals. Maybe this is their last last final. So they made sure that they motivate these youngsters throughout the weekend, of which I think we have a good group of players. The spirit is good, and then they're looking forward to this final.
Coach Sly, I believe this is going to be Atlanta Vilaga's last game for the club.
Yes, he signed a pre-contract with Amazulu, and Amazulu is out of top 8. We were teasing him yesterday, but he knows about that. So he will have to come and give everything tomorrow. I know most of the teams, when players signed pre-contract with our club, they don't play. But we spoke to him, and then you could see throughout the season he gave us, especially the second round, he gave us everything. And then in some of the matches, I believe he was man of the match. And from Monday, he's been training well. I think he's looking forward to have the club to win the trophy before he leaves.
My question is to Toby from Nedbank. With the Barcelona and Sundowns game and what happened with Ajax, are you happy with how the final has been marketed in Cape Town?
So I mean, obviously, so I'll answer the first part, the Sundowns Barcelona game. So we realized the importance of a match of that stature. It was mooted as part of the Nelson Mandela centenary celebrations, of which we also partners to with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. So we had to give consent together with PSL for that game to be staged, and obviously you saw the success of it. So I think we needed to take a step back and realize the bigger picture to the benefit of South African football. I can't really comment on the Ajax situation, although I'm sure what you're referring to is the media noise pertaining to it. I mean, look, it's all, potentially distractions to it, but from a marketing perspective, we've pulled out all those stops and done whatever we could, from a Nedbank perspective to market and promote the final. We went earlier this year, 15th of March, we were sitting in the same room to pre-announce the final venue, irrespective of, with respect to the two teams, who makes it through to the final, because we believe in our product and we believe in this competition and, the entertainment and all the other aspects that we're able to put to it. In addition to that, we've done a number of initiatives with our retail activations team all across the peninsula. We've been staging water, beach and river community cleanup events since the beginning of April, whereby we encourage fans as part of the final to come to and pick up various litter and trash in the area, and in doing so earn a ticket to the Nedbank Cup final. It's part of our brand essence and the way we wanted to position our brand through our Nedbank Green Affinity program. So in addition to that, the current ticket promotion that I've mentioned, if you buy a ticket, you get an additional ticket for free. We've also launched various initiatives and incentives through above the line, below the line and digital media to promote the final, and hence we've gotten heavy as well on the entertainment lineup. And I think in a nutshell, we want to give fans a reason to come, and I've got no doubt from a Nedbank perspective that we're giving fans value for money and their money's worth when they're coming to a Nedbank Cup final. And we've got two teams who's playing great football at the moment, so I've got no doubt it's going to be a really special occasion.
All right, we will take the last three questions. Okay, since you already have the microphone, you can go, my brother. We'll move to Carl and Siraj.
What's your question? Okay. Just the impact of the goalkeepers, just from both sides. I believe Richard's been crucial from my respect this season, and so has Sangare. Coach Lai, have you decided which goalkeeper to field? Taylor's come in and done well in cups. Yeah, just an opinion from both sides, please.
Yeah, I think the addition of Richard Ofori, Ghana's number one at the start of the season, was a huge coup for Maritzburg United, and I think he's in the top 3 goalkeepers of the season. He's really given us stability in terms of our defense. He's brought us a lot of leadership, and I think he's 23, 24, and at that young age, he brings experience as well. I know, Rob, you were speaking about Bevan earlier about the cup final, but somebody with an international experience of Richard Ofori has really brought a confidence not only to the defense line, but the rest of the team as well. So really good for us, fantastic, and yeah, we hope in the final he can keep producing the performances he has.
You know, we brought Taylor in January, so we thought because Sangara was doing well, we needed to beef up. You know, we didn't have a good backup for Sangara, so we brought Taylor in January. So we thought about it, listen, Sangara is doing well, and now Taylor will have to play somewhere, but we cannot drop someone that is doing well. So we thought that we need to give him a chance in this Nedbank Cup, and then you could see in some of the games he actually won the games for us. When he played against the Super Eagles at home, when he played against Ubuntu here in Cape Town, he won the game for us. So even on Saturday, we're going to have to go with him because he's done the job for us in this Nedbank Cup.
So Telango, when he confirmed in the starting line.
Yeah, listen, if he's fit, to be fair, the guy needs to play. You see, we got him on loan from Sundowns. We couldn't just go and get him to come and sit on the bench. He had to play. If he's done well in the cup, we'll have to play him. If he's fully fit to play on Saturday.
At least you already have one name in the starting lineup. All right.
This is to both coaches. There's a lot of people excited by the two sides because of the football you play, how well prepared you are. But obviously it's a final, there's a different approach. Do you think you guys will be cagey, or can we expect an entertaining match on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't think we'll plan to be cagey. I think a club like Maritzburg United, we always want to play attacking football. We always want to dominate the game with possession. It will be dependent as well of the opponent. You know, what does Free State Stars, how is their setup? And of course, you can plan to go out full out attack. You can plan as much as you want. When that first whistle goes, you know, it's a cup final. There might be a little bit of tension. It might take a goal to open things up. You never know. But from our side, for sure, we're gonna try and play our normal game.
Yeah, it's same as us. I think we're gonna come down and try to play our normal game. But I still believe when we spoke outside there, before we walked in here, we still said that this is gonna be a crack of the game because these are the two teams that have improved big time this season. You can see with the lock position, we wanted to finish in the top 5, but unfortunately, we dropped to 6. If we drew against Pirates, we were gonna be able to finish in the top 5, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I still believe this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a cracker. This is going to be the two teams that can use the ball. There will be tension somewhere, somehow, but like he's saying, maybe it will take one goal to open up things, but it might not take one goal to open up things. The chances will be there, you know. It will depend on the day, who's lucky sometimes, and then we'll take it from there. But I think this is going to be a crack of the game.
All right, Siraj.